Doc Holliday kneels on the cold floor of the abandoned ward. Blood drips from his mouth, whether from his chest or throat, no one can tell. Before him, a figure shrouded in mist raises a revolver. The shadow's eyes blaze with a rage that pierces through death itself. Doc smiles, even as he spits blood. A crooked, mocking, weary smile. The smile of a man who's lost everything, except his last bullet. If this scene has your heart in your throat, then you're in the right place. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Saddle up, traveler, because today we're riding to the edge of reason and maybe beyond. The Colorado wind hisses like a wounded snake through the broken windows of the Glenwood Sanatorium. The mountains outside bleed golden light, but in here, everything reeks of stale whiskey, mold, and sickness. Time seems to stagnate between the peeling green walls. Beds creak. The groans of the living mingle with the whispers of the dead. Doc Holliday lies in bed. His chest rises and falls like a rusted bellows. The sheet clings to his fever-soaked skin. A fly buzzes near his half-open mouth. He ignores it. He's somewhere else. A field of pack dirt. A duel. 2 men. The sun at its zenith. Silence screaming louder than any crowd. But when he pulls the trigger, no sound comes. The bullet cuts through the air and dissolves into dust. Doc jolts awake with a spasm. Eyes wide, pupils dilated, unshaven beard, face hollowed by disease. Tuberculosis has rooted itself deep, even in his soul. He sits up slowly, coughing blood into an iron basin. The taste of metal lingers in his mouth. But something else is wrong. In the chair across from his bed, someone is watching. Not a nurse, not a doctor, not a patient. A man in black, wide-brimmed hat, long coat, boots caked with mud, and eyes that seem to have witnessed Hell's Gate swing open. He doesn't move, just stares. Doc blinks. The figure vanishes. But at night it returns. This time, closer. Doc tries to call for help, but his tongue is heavy. The laudanum they pumped into him locks his throat, clouds his senses. The shadow whispers ancient things. Things only someone from beyond the grave would know. Names, dates, duels. And that last one, the one he never told a soul about. The next morning, a letter appears on his bedside table. No one saw who left it. Thick paper, smells of smoke. Just one handwritten sentence. You need to settle your debts before they settle you. The old gunslinger tries to laugh, but his chest aches. The cough returns. Blood comes with it. He looks out the window and swears by God he sees Wyatt Earp riding through the mist. But Wyatt's been dead for 17 years. Or has he? Doc Holliday rises. His legs tremble. Death is in every bone, but something stronger drives him. A score to settle. And the Old West, forgotten in these mountains, still calls for its ghosts. The hallway creaks under Doc Holliday's steps. No cane, no help. Just him, his warring lungs, and fever chewing his eyes from within. Each step is a duel with the floor. Each dark corner, an invitation to oblivion. But he presses on. He always has. The sanatorium is a maze of echoes and shadows. The walls whisper low. They speak names. Recount sins. In the infirmary, an old man sings a song no one taught him. In another room, a hanging crucifix drips water, though it hasn't rained in days. Doc pushes open the door to the disused chapel. The altar is draped in stained sheets. There, on the worm-eaten pews, names are carved with a knife. He recognizes some. Men he buried. Others he tried to forget. And one that should never have returned. Jack Murietta, a name heavier than lead. A gunslinger he swore was dead. The one who fell in Tombstone with 3 bullets in his chest and a quart of whiskey in his blood. But there it is, freshly carved, ink dripping like blood from a reopened wound. Doc closes his eyes and sees the dusty street, the clink of spurs, Jack laughing, a laugh that sounded more like a scream, and the crack of the revolver. 3 shots, 3 bodies, but only one didn't fall. Doubt creeps back, as certain as the cough. What if Jack didn't die? Or worse, what if the one who died was him? Doc leaves the chapel, hands shaking. He passes the dining hall. A mirror catches his eye. He stops, stares. The reflection smiles before he does. A cold, sharp smile on another face, but with his eyes. That's it. Reality twists like a snake in the sun. Someone or something is hunting him, not for his hide, not for gold, but for the blood debt time never paid. And there's only one way to settle it. Find Jack Murietta. Learn if he's ghost, memory, or flesh, and pull the trigger again. This time without missing. In the forgotten heart of the sanatorium, there's a wing no one speaks of. No sign, no record. A corridor missing from the maps, but avoided by all, as if instinct itself warns. Don't go. Doc goes. The hallways darken. The cold bites. Windows are boarded up from the inside out. Here, time stopped fighting. It surrendered. Each step creaks like a coffin lid opening. The lights flicker, but it's not electricity. It's something else, alive and hungry. The door at the end of the corridor is ajar. He pushes it open with the palm of his hand. Inside, the world bends. The floor is littered with stained playing cards. Rusted revolvers hang on the walls like trophies. Old hats, some burned, others pierced by bullets. In the center, a wheelchair. Empty, but warm. Doc smells it before he sees. Cigar, old whiskey, gunpowder. And then he appears. Jack Murietta, or something wearing his skin. The face hasn't aged, but it doesn't live either. Skin too tight, eyes too sunken, like a mask worn by someone who forgot how to be human. You're late, document. The voice is made of smoke. Deep, unreal. Doc doesn't answer. His fingers inch toward the holster. But he knows this isn't just a man anymore. It's a reckoning incarnate. A fragment of everything he tried to bury with the wrong bullet. Jack rises. Around them, the cards move on their own. His revolver floats. Handless, pulled by memory. Doc steps back, but the floor gives way. No more corridor, no more sanatorium. Just red dust and bells tolling in the distance. You didn't come to hunt me, Doc, Jack says with a skull's grin. I came to collect. The world spins. Fever burns. But hate is clear. Doc draws. Nothing happens. The cylinder is empty, and Jack walks toward him, boots dragging echoes that never fade. The ground is no longer ground. It's dust and shadow. A limbo of memory and sin. Doc staggers, eyes burning, chest torn by dry coughs. The empty cylinder in his trembling hand shakes, not from fear, but rage. He glares at Jack Murietta, standing just steps away, with the wide grin of a victor. Behind them, the Old West reassembles like a fever dream. The main street of some dead town, saloon to the right, blacksmith to the left, and the sun painting everything in feverish yellow. Ghosts crowd the windows. Men in hats, women in veils, eyeless children. All watching, all waiting. The final duel. Jack raises his revolver, but doesn't draw. He waits, taunts, wants Doc to bleed out his soul. How many times have you killed me, Doc? The voice rumbles like thunder without a sky. How many times did you shoot me? Only to wake up sweating, drowning in your own lungs. Doc spits on the ground. Dark, thick blood. Only need one time to get it right. Fever dances around him, but his hand still knows. Body sick, instinct sharp. He spins the empty cylinder and laughs. Jack's brow furrows. Doc raises a revolver. Click. Nothing. Jack grins. Steps forward. But then Doc closes his eyes. Breathes deep. The memory comes. Vivid. The day he shot Jack for the last time in Tombstone. The bullet that vanished. Never found in the body. Never explained. Doc opens his eyes. The gun hums. A single bullet, rusted, ghostly, appears in the cylinder. Jack freezes. The grin fades. The bullet from the past. The unpaid debt. The truth too alive to die. Doc draws. Time stops. Jack draws too. Too late. The shot splits the world. Bang. Dust rises. Ghosts vanish. The sun darkens. Jack Murietta falls to his knees. Chest pierced, smile broken. Doc steps closer, looks into his eyes. No anger, just exhaustion. Jack smiles. One last time. You should have let it go. And turns to dust. Literally. The wind scatters every grain, every trace. As if he never was. Doc drops to his knees. Alone. In the void. The sanatorium returns. The corridor. The ceiling. The pain. But now, silence. No fever. No whispers. Just him. And one less bullet in the chamber of memory. The nurse finds Doc Holliday sitting on the edge of his bed. Face slick with sweat, eyes fixed on some point beyond the window, a point no one else sees. She asks if he's all right. He doesn't answer, just touches the empty holster at his waist, and smiles. On the shelf, among bottles of laudanum and expired medicine, rests a single ancient bullet, dirty, rusted, like it was dug from a bad dream. Since that night, no one's seen Doc wandering the forbidden halls. No more shouting dead men's names in fevered fits. No more talking to shadows only he could see. The old gunslinger now walks with steady steps. Calm gaze. But there's something in his eyes, something like dust, fire, and judgment. Some say he finally made peace with his ghosts. Others swear he became one. No one's sure. On the sanatorium walls, near the sealed-off wing, a letter was found pinned with a silver dagger. The past doesn't die. It just stops screaming. No one knows who left it, but Doc Holliday was seen the next morning, riding alone toward the east, where the mountains swallow the sun. Some call it delirium. Others swear they saw him. But every legend worth its salt ends like this, without end. If the story chilled you to bone, it's time to return the shot, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below which Old West legend you want to see come alive here. The dust hasn't settled yet, partner. See you on the next trail. Horsefire,